Jesus Freak here. After a situation I had at the store earlier, I got to thinking. When I was a kid in school, often there'd be a time you'd have, 3, 4, 5 of us kids in a class about 24, and we'd all do something that we knew wasn't right. Usually, all of them, except me, would get away with it, and then I'd get the book thrown at me. And I'd be told, you should know better. But they did it. And it doesn't matter whether they did it or not. You did it. You should know better. And it doesn't matter, or, how we apply the rules to anyone else is none of your business. And it's become pretty much the way things run was that I was always held to a higher standard than everyone else. And as such, I've always held myself to a higher standard. Because I always expected, it doesn't matter if they do it and get away with it. If you're the one that gets the book thrown at you every time you step out of line, you learn not to step out of line because you don't want the book thrown at you. And I had people say, what I'm doing sounds like I'm paranoid. I said, look, my interpretation of the rules is not going to get me hauled in for anyone thinking I'm committing terrorism. But I have to be prepared for some punk to interpret the rules in the strictest possible way. So if I hold myself to that strictest possible interpretation, I can't go wrong. And I get to thinking, we as Christians, we're going to be held to a higher standard by God. Because we know what the truth is. And we accept it as the truth. I fully accept. I might not always have the same understanding as everyone else. But I have to understand, the ultimate arbiter of our eternal fate is God. And just because we've accepted Jesus Christ doesn't make that the be-all and end-all. When Jesus says, from the one who's been given more, more will be expected. Of course, the standards we got to be held to is high. And I expect it. I expect to be graded on an unfavorable curve. Paul says Jesus didn't save us so we could go on sinning. He says we should live our life in a newness of spirit. In everything we do, giving thanks to God for the unspeakable gift. We are a sacrifice. Ourselves, our lives, are to be a sacrifice to Him. Our acceptable service. That means, that's a minimum baseline. It's like that one hymn, I gave my all for you. What have you given to me? Being saved, as it were, is just the beginning, not the end. And we shouldn't treat it as the end. Jesus freaked out.